Hello, I pray that everybody's doing well. It's been a while since I've done a video like this. I feel like it's time to go ahead and finally address something. And I probably am going to lose a lot of followers from this, even though I don't really have a lot of followers anyway. My channel is extremely small, but for a long bit, I focused more on the fact that I was doing keto and low carb. And so that's where a lot of the people who follow me now came from. I've had a recent influx of people who have begun to follow me more for the ministry related content. And so for all of you, hello, it is so wonderful to have you here. But for those of you who did not start following me for that reason, and instead it was regarding keto and low carb, I understand, and I wouldn't even take it personally if you decided that this channel is definitely not for you anymore. I had put in a previous video that I have done keto and low carb since 2016. That is like 10 years, guys. It worked very, very well, and I've done it consistently with a few deviations here and there. For the most part, I've done it probably 90% of the time for the past 10 years. It really did work well for me, not just in weight loss, but other things as well. Reduced inflammation, my energy levels, and various things in the beginning of my journey. As time has gone on, that has changed quite a bit, and my body just kind of stopped responding the same way that it used to. And I got to the point where it was no longer working, in the sense that I am premenopausal now. And so I am getting up there in age. My needs have changed. My hormones have changed. And I just found that I kept steadily gaining weight little by little. And no matter how strict I tried to be, it was just no longer working. I was still gaining weight. So it's getting to the point where not only was I going to have to cut out the carbs, as you know, fat replaces the carbs as a source of energy when you're doing the ketogenic lifestyle. But I was going to have to start reducing the amount of fat as well. And it was just restrict to the point where it was just messing with my mind, my peace. I was stressed out, constantly trying to find ways to avoid carbs. And you know, when you get to the point where you almost have an anxiety attack about eating an apple, to me, that became problematic, because in my mind, I started to feel like keto was literally the only way. And I didn't start out thinking that, but it evolved to the point where I thought it was literally the only way for me to lose or to maintain my weight. So anytime you get to the point where it is just extreme, and you basically demonize other food groups, even ones that are just whole foods, it was becoming problematic. And when I first shifted to start eating other fruits more than just berries, I realized how much anxiety and almost panic it produced in me. And it let me know that I had developed a very unhealthy relationship with food and different types of food. And so for me, I decided that it was time for me to take a break, because I really just needed to reset and really understand that there's no such thing as an evil food. Now, I don't do processed foods, and our foods are still filled with a bunch of foolishness. And so the overly processed stuff, and cakes, cookies, donuts, brownies, all those things, that is still not my lifestyle. You know, maybe a special occasion here and there, but for the most part, I still don't eat those things. So I have not gone crazy. But it just made me realize that I had developed a very unhealthy relationship with food. Like, it should not produce guilt in me because I wanted a slice of pineapple or an apple. Like, that's crazy to me. So for me, I had to come away and just really reset. So now I'm focusing more still on whole foods, lean meats, beef, poultry, fish, a variety of fruits and vegetables, including potatoes, sweet potatoes, occasionally rice. I still take my yogurt unflavored and flavor it myself. So like I said, I'm not ridiculous. And within the first week, I dropped like 5 pounds. And that was with eating some of the things that were so taboo, that I was so afraid of for like 10 years. And so, it was just a different shift. It has worked out well. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the foods that I'm eating. I'm enjoying trying new recipes and enjoying some things that I have not eaten, at least regularly, for many years. And so I don't regret the change at all. I'm laying my edges forward, hence the scarf. But anyway, if you would like to hear more about that, I would be more than happy to share. And one of the things that I realized, I judged a lot of people. Like, I started out following a lot of people who did keto years and years ago. And then slowly, as some of them begin to come off and go to other types of eating plans, like, I was highly offended. Like, I was annoyed by that. And I think deep down inside, I may have just been projecting, because it's like, if it's no longer working for them and something else is working better, I didn't want to face the fact that maybe one day it wouldn't work for me anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's why I was so offended. And I went on an unfollow spree of people who weren't doing keto anymore, because I could not understand. I couldn't understand. But now, 10 years later, I get it. And so I didn't want to be locked in to one particular eating style for the rest of my life. And it was sustainable for many years. And like I said, I did really well on it. And I still don't demonize the lifestyle. There are a lot of benefits to it. And a lot of people that I refollow, and a lot of people that do keto, I still follow them for recipes and other reasons. And I'm not saying that I may never dip into it again. I'm just saying, I would always say that food for me was that my diet, it wasn't a diet, it was a lifestyle, not a prison. But I realized I actually made it a prison. I made it a prison. And I had to break out of that. And I had to do it in a very radical way. And so far, like I said, we've had good results in dropping weight, not just weight, but body fat, which I thought would be impossible to do eating carbs, and yet we are doing it. And building muscle. As we get older, it becomes very important to build muscle, especially as females. So that is something that I have been focused on as well. And so I thought, oh my gosh, if I take a spoon of rice, I'm going to gain 20 pounds. Well, so far, that has not been the case. And again, I'm not going overboard. I'm not doing anything crazy. I do primarily still stick to very single ingredient foods. I eat well. I eat controlled. And so far, it is working out for us. So if I end up losing followers for that reason, I completely understand, because I did the same thing years ago. I wouldn't do that now, because I've obviously evolved in my thinking, and I understand that it's just very nuanced. And I watch now even people that I follow who are struggling, trying to maintain the keto lifestyle at this point. And, maybe it's time for them to try something different as well. I don't know. So anyway, that's where I am. it is just nuance, and everything does not work for everybody for all time. And sometimes you have to switch things up. And that's what I did. And so far, so good. Like I said, I'm willing to talk more about it if you would like for me to get more specific about what we are doing, but that's what it is. So if I lose followers, it's been a blessing to have you here, and thank you for the time that we had together. But I had to do something different, and I had to do it for me. And so, yeah, that's where we are. But anyway, it is Tuesday. I'm headed into an in-person work day. I pray that you have a wonderful day. Be blessed in Jesus' name.